wanting to shoot this video is because one of our other cars, which is the good old-fashioned Crown Vic, couldn't conquer just the smallest of hills, and actually had to slide down the hill backwards, which was pretty dangerous, but it's the only option we had. And if he would have been in a car like mine, he would have been just fine, and I'll show you right now. I mean, this is snow and ice, and my car has been maneuvering through it all day long without problem. Obviously stopping is a bit of an issue, but as far as just going down the street, going up a hill, all is good. And you'll see that right here we have just a small hill coming up to this street, and we're gonna go up it. And not only are we gonna go up it, we're gonna stop right here and give it some gas, go up the hill, no problem, hit that giant bump, and continue on our merry way. So as you can see, I mean, the car's doing just fine. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with driving a 2014 Ford Taurus on snow and ice. I wasn't sure at first because I've actually had an accident in the snow and ice, but this is actually really safe. I feel confident in it. Obviously, I'm not going to get into pursuit or anything like that, but if I've got to go somewhere in the county, considering I'm a county deputy, I don't have any drawbacks. Like I feel like I can get wherever I need to go just fine. And as you see right here, we've got a little bit of a valley and a little bit of an incline, and I don't think most cars would have a problem, but just to show you what this can do is to stop right here, you know, I guess what I think is the steepest spot, and go. It moves a little bit from side to side, but it hooks right up and goes. So we're gonna have a little bit of a drive here and just talk about what this car's capable of. I think every model comes standard with all-wheel drive, and I actually shot a video earlier, but it had stopped sleeting and wasn't really doing anything. So as soon as it picked back up and it started snowing again, I got my camera back out and said I'm going to shoot another video. And excuse me. So we're just going to go for a little bit of a patrol here and show you what this car's capable of. Right now I'm doing 25, and this is a downward sloped stop here. And since this is a wide angle action cam, it doesn't get angles really well, but we do have a bridge over here, and of course, as with most bridges, there's an upward slope leading up to the bridge and a downward slope going down the opposite side, and the bridge is obviously going to be pretty icy. So what we'll do is we'll go up to this bridge down here. I don't know if you can see it off in the distance, but we're going to stop on this bridge and then conquer it. So we'll come to a stop here and make sure that guy's going to stop. Continue on and show you what this car can do, because I love my Ford Taurus. Absolutely love it. I had a Tahoe and I had it out in the snow, and it did like an SUV would, with it being only rear wheel drive. So let's find a pretty good slick spot right here. Like, yeah, that's nice. And so we're on the upward slope of the bridge here, and there's not a real good way for me to show you what the incline is, but you hear the engine rev, you move a little bit side to side, but it goes just fine. And the other side is actually a little bit steeper, And as you can see, it's nothing but white. Like, that's the road. So, oh, there's a car down here. So we're gonna go down here and turn right back around and do this all over again, but from the other side, or this side, and I'll show you what this car is actually capable of doing. It's actually not been a super busy day, so now mind you, I'm turning this thing around on a slope too, and right there it slid just a little bit, but at no point did I feel like I was out of control of my vehicle. And we're going to go up here. This is actually a closed road. I think that truck that was back there was a construction truck, because they're still doing construction of all this. And as you can see, I'm completely stopped, 0 miles an hour, and we're going to give it some gas and go up the hill.
71 north in Robinson Court.
And just like that, it goes right up the hill. I haven't found anything really steep yet, but here's, I mean, this bridge right here that's not touching any ground is solid ice, and I'll show you what the car does whenever you give it gas on something like this. Doesn't move side to side. If it does, maybe a few inches, but as you can see, it hooked right up and went. The pea gravel, same way. Especially with the gas wells, the car doesn't bury. It grabs hold of whatever it can and goes. So, thank you, Ford, for keeping us safe and putting the thought into giving us all-wheel drive standard on every model. The car I have is not the twin turbo. It's the 3.5 liter V6, no EcoBoost, so has a pretty good sized V6 in it, and plenty of power even without the turbo. I don't feel like I'm going to lose every car that I get behind, and like I'm always in the fight with this car. So like I said, thumbs up to Ford for putting together a nice rig and keeping us safe out here. Because like I said, at no point do I ever feel like I'm going to get stuck or bogged down. I feel pretty confident. And you're seeing it firsthand on ice and snow, what it's like to be behind the wheel of a 2014 Ford Taurus. So I'm going to shut up now and just let the video do the talking. Make a right here. I told myself I was going to shut up, but I can't, because what good is it if I just shut up? But as you saw right back there, coming back into the undeveloped area over here, coming up the drive-in, like, the car did fine, and it has done fine all day. I haven't got it stuck yet. I drove off in the mud on top of the snow and ice, and I didn't even know I was in the mud until I'd gotten out of my car to fix my windshield wipers because they had iced over, and saw that my car was covered in mud. So I drove back to where I was, and it was actually surprisingly deep, the mud was, and it was fine. car was fine. And like I said, I didn't even know I'd driven through the mud. And the car stops. Like, this is pretty mushy. You can hear it, but the car stops fine on it too, as fine as it can. I mean, it's a car on ice. There's no traction on slushy muck. But we're here in Arkansas. It snows occasionally, not too often really. As you can hear, you got the slush kicking up on the sides of the car. But yeah, I'm quite proud of my Ford Taurus. Love it a lot. I like it better than the Tahoe. I'm not a big guy. I'm only 5'10" on a really good day, depending on what shoes I'm wearing. And you know, I weigh 175 pounds in my boxers. So I'm not a big guy. Some really big guys have issues getting in and out of them. I don't. And the car is great. Ford, if you ever watch this, you could afford to make an auxiliary port available on all the units, because we like our music. That's how we keep ourselves sane. That's how I keep myself sane. I listen to a lot of music, you know, to pass the time and ease the tension. I'm sorry about the camera shaking. I'm literally just holding it as I'm going down the street. So what you see is what you get. It's POV, you know, point of view, and it's what it's like to be driving this thing. I mean, you're pretty much feeling every bump with me. Even on dry roads, the car handles good. It hooks up. Even on corners, you know, going fast, I guess. Right now I'm doing 30, and the speed limit on this street is 35 anyway. And with the exception of it being snowy and icy, I can feel the stuff underneath my tires, but it doesn't feel like I'm sliding around on ice or mush or snow. It feels normal. And we'll stop on this side of the bridge too. I'll try to get as much crud underneath my tires as I can, so you can see that it hooks up and goes. And we're down to 0 miles an hour, and here we go. I'll rev it up a little bit. But as you can see, I mean, I'm right down the center, and everything's good. Even moving over to a different lane, everything's good. Car's great, handles great. It's good speed, good stopping ability. You couldn't ask for more, other than an auxiliary port, so we can have just some tunes, you know. Take the tension off, take the edge off, and you know, have our time. And I know it's not always our time in the car, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it would be good to have some music occasionally without, you know, literally turning your phone on and just letting it play through the phone's cruddy speakers. But we got this driveway here too. This driveway is actually pretty steep. It probably climbs 3.5, 4 feet in the distance of about 15 feet. And as you can see, the car raised, the front end raised, and it slid just a little bit, but I mean, it still climbed out like nobody's business. So hats off to you guys at Ford. Hopefully I didn't bore you to death. No, I'm not gonna do any like super high speed runs or, you know, drudge through all sorts of crud. For everyday use and what you see right here, like all the snow and the crap that's out there, and ice and slush, the car's The car is actually amazing. It's great. So thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask. Hit the like, subscribe, and we'll see you in another video. Peace.